Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I really want to get into this whole entire catastrophe between Iran and Israel and America getting involved. Before we get into this, I do want to introduce myself because I feel like people will come in here and judge me based on like how I look. Because I mean, we live in a world where people are just visual and they just like to go off the cuff and believe that like, oh, if you look like this, you are for this party. You look like this, you're for that party. First of all, bitch. My name is Bruce Williams. I am America Firster. I'm probably more far right than Donald Trump himself. Okay, how about that? And first of all, I do want to say this. I don't believe every single thing that the media is telling us right now about Iran. I don't believe that we should go there and spread democracy. And I don't believe that we should get involved in trying to make a regime change to free Iran. Like I really don't. It makes me mad that people out here will push this, narrative that we need to get into war to save the women of Iran, as if you give a fuck about women here in America. Like I'm so sick of like the propaganda with all of you bitches out there who will make an excuse to amplify World War III to be like and act like a feminist. Oh, we need to help the women in Iran. They can't be whores. They can't be uncovered here. They can't do it. Like they need Western values in an Islamic nation. That's literally that's what everyone's doing because they just want war to benefit Israel. That's literally what it's about. It's I don't believe they have nukes. I don't believe it. Even if they did, to be honest, I think that every nation should be able to protect themselves and should be able to have a weapon to protect themselves around an enemy like Israel, who has been so much bullshit in that region with every single country around them. Tensions rising with every single country around them. They can't get along with no one. You know why? They want ultimate power. They want ultimate power to the point where everyone around them is their allies. Everyone around them is their allies. So they can literally be the biggest power in that region. Literally. And once they get to that, once they get up to that, they can go like this against us and move on to our enemies and get with their enemies. That's how it's gonna go. That's how I see it. You guys may not agree with me, and I don't give a fuck. This is just my take on everything and why I truly think that if America was to do a regime change, I think it would be a stupid mistake, honestly, to do it again. Because yes, this has happened before where we've gotten to other foreign nations and change the way these people live, like the ways people believe. And I think that it's not benefiting America. It's not going to benefit anyone but Israel. That's literally who is going to benefit. It's not about putting America first and stopping wars. And just because right now there's a ceasefire, it doesn't mean that this is like a fragile thing that it will not go back to raising more tensions. I'm pretty sure Iran is done over it. Like their commanders are all dead. Like, please. Civilians are dead. They blow one missile into a hospital. Israel wants to cry when Israel literally have bombed every single fucking hospital in Gaza, like to smithereens. Over what? What is it? Like, it's like hundreds of thousands of women, men, children dead. And you're gonna tell me that you want to cry over a hospital? I can't. Like, and I get it. It's bad. It's bad. Like, I don't think anyone should die. But when it comes back down to these people that rule this country, which I'm talking about Israel, rule this country, fuck us in the ass, get us into World War III, want our American men to die for that foreign nation. I just think that it does not benefit America, and I don't think that Iran has its nuke at the ready right now. I don't even think that we have even bomb those nuclear sites that they claimed. I don't believe it. I don't think they have. And I don't think they have. And if they were having a nuclear site, it's probably been done since 2003 when we invaded Iraq. Literally. Like, that's for sure. I think that there is no nuclear weapons program. Like, I don't believe that they have been working on a big weapon to take us all out because we're scared of Iran. I don't believe it. I think it's a lie. I truly do. I think it's a lie. I think that they want to really do what they really want to do is make an excuse to go to war, to destabilize the Iranian prime minister that's there, the president, and solely to benefit Israel. And I want to go into this talking about why regime change would not work, because we've done it before and it didn't go our way. It didn't. And I want to talk about this push, this propaganda that everyone's pushing to be like, the women in Iran, they need to be free. They can't be uncovered. They can't be like whores here, just like whores here in America. The Iranian women, they need to be free. They need to be free. Look how they live. Look how they live. And I'm like, oh, so look how we live. But look how we live. Look how we live. We're one of the most privileged nations in this world, period. Love our country. I am America first. I am a nationalist. I love this country. But the fact that these people are advocating for spreading democracy to justify World War III, to murder innocent women and children and men, to benefit another foreign nation such as Israel, to fucking make them a huge, big empire there. Basically, to have so much more power than basically us, so they can wash their hands of us and go to our adversaries such as China, Russia, whatever have you. I truly think that's what's going to happen if Trump doesn't stop being a puppet for them. So I want to get into this, like, because I think this is very interesting. I've been going into like the history of, the Shah, and I see like a lot of people, especially like, organizations such as Jewish Lives Matter. They love to put the Shah and how free the women were under the Shah in Iran between the 40s and the 70s in Iran, and they love to post images of how he was the king of Iran and how glamorous Farah Pahlavi was, how Mohammed Pahlavi was, and how the women were on beaches with their bikinis. They didn't have any hijabs. They weren't oppressed by wearing the hijab and things like that. They love to bring that up. And I honestly think that it's not the full story that they're telling people out there, because everyone can be like, oh my God, look at these women there. We have to spread democracy. We have to spread democracy. Look what they had under the Shah. When he was ruling in Iran under the Shah, look how free those women were. But you stupid pieces of shit out there who continue to boast that propaganda as if those people were living a good, decent life underneath the Shah. There wasn't even a fucking middle class. And if it was upper echelon. What you don't talk about is how the U.S. installed the Shah. They installed Mohammed Pahlavi. They did not like him. They were not for the Shah. They wasn't. I understand that it was westernized. It was very westernized. It was very modernized too. And they implemented him because the previous president that was in office, Mohammad Mosaddegh, he was a nationalist. He was an Iranian nationalist of Islam. He was beloved. He was beloved. And guess what? Under his reign, women and men, women, they were free. They were going to university. They were able to drive. They were able to do everything that the Shah implemented after the CIA got involved, because the reason why you guys love to push him is because you know that the US put him in there. But it didn't benefit the people of Iran. The people admired having a nationalist, a leader that was honest, a leader that was putting his country first. Just like I think that President Trump should. We shouldn't be getting into wars. We should be building our own economy, having having our own oil. Like, we shouldn't be getting oil from different countries. We shouldn't. We should manufacture our own things. That's what Mohammed Mossadegh wanted. And when he did that, the US and Britain did not like that at all. They didn't. And under his reign, people were living wonderful life. There was a lower class, a middle class, an upper class. He wasn't trying to be like some sort of king like the Shah was, that was installed by the CIA, by the way. He was a democratic nationalist who was fair, who did not like, he wanted the people to know that he wanted to protect the sovereignty of his nation. And to see people out here be like, oh my God, like, what's happening now is so crazy. Oh my God, America needs to get into it. It's like, we did. We tried that. They didn't like the westernization of their country. They loved that there was a nationalist in office that wanted to protect the sovereignty of their nation. To be Iranian first. To be Iran first, whatever you want to say. And when the Shah was implemented, people were poor. The economy collapsed. I mean, I'm not saying that that anything was perfect under Mohammed Mossadegh, but people were proud to see someone who put their nation first, unlike this dictator such as the Shah, who was having this secret society of policemen that would torture, abuse, and neglect the citizens of Iran. Nothing was good under him. Nothing. And that's why he was fucking kicked the fuck out. No one talks about that. No one talks about how the Iranian women and men, they rejected the Shah. They rejected the Shah, and that's why so much anti-American sentiment and so much anti-Israel sentiment has been implemented in Iran, because we continue to get involved in these nations that should be left the fuck alone. And do you wonder why they want to build bombs? Allegedly. You wonder why they want to protect themselves. You wonder why they hate us, and they say death to America. Doesn't mean that they want to actually kill us all, to be honest. So the real sentiment to that is saying like, we need to stop killing and murdering their people. We need to stop allowing people to be in office that are wanting to go to war constantly, who have policies that aren't minding their own in our own nation. It starts at home, actually. It really does. The call is coming from the house. That's literally what it is. But you guys love to put this propaganda out as if this is the reason why we should get involved. I'm like, why? Why should we? I think the Islamic Revolution, it is what it is. Let us say how it is. I know that there are women out there that go and say like, you know, they want to kill us. They kill us over us not having our hijabs on, even though they be making videos, TikTok videos, even having the freedom to speak against their government without their hijabs on. You see them having like, you know, there's photos and videos of them partying outside without their hijabs on. Even women in the city without their hijabs on. They're living normal lives, actually. They're living normal lives. Some of them are covered, some of them are not. Some of them are being so-called brave, but they're still able to do it. They put it on national TV for everyone to see. You don't think that the government can go and find those people and like prosecute them there, but why are they still alive? Why are they still walking around freely?
Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Some are even willing to risk talking about it on camera.
You know, people go to jail in this country sometimes, or they get fined. Are you not afraid anymore?
I am afraid, says Saha, but I'm doing this because I don't want a daughter of mine to have the same fear as I do. Jairan goes without a headscarf more and more. Just like many other women, she says. But there are places where the morality police are present, then we have to wear it, just like you're forced to wear it.
The changes we've been witnessing here really are extraordinary. Whether they're going to last is another question. Periods of perceived liberalism in Iran have often been followed by crackdowns in the past.
Last fall, Iran's parliament voted to increase levels of punishment for hijab violations, bigger fines, longer jail sentences. Many here blame Western culture for turning young Iranian women against the hijab, including Fatime Hojat. The fact that the hijab law is not implemented properly in the country has exacerbated this issue, she says. Fear that it eventually will be implemented is a constant undercurrent for those daring to lift the veil, staring at a future that could go in either direction.
Do you ever question that? I don't think anyone ever questions that. I question everything. I don't believe everything that's taught to me. I think that there are people in Iran that hold Western values. And they see us and they see that they don't want to be covered. But there are women there that actually do want to be covered, though. You forget about those women, too, who want to wear the hijabs and who love the hijab and who are nationalists and they respect Islam. Just because there are people that disagree with things in their country doesn't mean that we should get involved with that. I just don't, I would never understand this push to make you guys hate something that you just don't believe in. You don't have to believe in that. You live here in America. Do I think that people here should all be wearing hijabs here in this country? No, we are the West. We are the greatest power in America. We are the greatest power in the world, by the way. And here in this country, we're free. Not every nation's going to be the same, you know? But pushing this narrative that we have to force our Western values down every single one's throat, it only makes them hate us more. Like, you think that makes them like us more? I don't think so. I think it makes them hate us more. And as I explained, like, they actually had the option under Mohammed Mosaddegh, who was a Democratic nationalist, who wanted to neutralize the oil and who wanted to, you know, protect the sovereignty of their nation. He was beloved. He was beloved. There was a lower class, middle class, higher class. People were living good jobs. The women were having the choice to wear whatever they wanted, the hijab or not. There's even photos of women without the hijab under his reign, Mohammed Mossadegh's reign. Everything was fine, but no one talks about the before. No one talks about the before, despite he was only in office for 3 years before he was, you know, ousted out by the U.S. government. It wasn't the people that ousted him out. It was the U.S. government that did, and put in Mohammed Pahlavi and Farah Pahlavi, who were reigning in Iran for years. But he wasn't ousted out, and he didn't have to flee Iran because of the U.S. It was because of the people of Iran. They rejected our Western values. They rejected how he was spreading that in their nation. Imagine if they did that to us. I think I see it already. Look what happened in New York with that what is that Muslim guy? I don't even know his name, honestly, who just won mayor of New York City. Like, people are already rejecting that, oh, he's a Muslim, like we don't want that in our country. Imagine how they feel. I see the propaganda. You guys have to look at the propaganda, do your research on these things, because you'll realize how much we get involved, and you think that didn't benefit Israel either. Under the Shah, it benefited Israel. The CIA, the Mossad, they were intertwined, the secret police there that was torturing people, murdering people, because he was a dictator who was not for opposition. There was no freedom like it was under Mohammed Mossadegh. And look what happened. Look what that led to. Look what that led to today's Iran. So, if you think that regime change will help America in any type of way, look what happened today. If America would have just allowed Iran to do what they wanted to do in their own nation, protect their sovereignty, and become the nationals that they are, and loving their people, and keeping it under wraps there, and cutting ties with any other foreign nations like we should have been many, many years ago in the West, maybe, just maybe, what's happening today would have never happened at all. Clock that T, bitch. Anyways, that's all I want to say for today. I think I've made my point on all of this, and I hope that you guys took something from this. I really do. Because I think that this video was very, very, very important, because no one's telling you the real truth about Mohammed Pahlavi. I think that's how you say his, is that how you say his name? Pahlavi? Something like that. I'm an American. I can't say that shit. I hope you guys understand what I mean by this, and you take it with a grain of salt. You do. And you realize how important it is that our country, we worry about our own selves instead of trying to get into the same conflicts over and over and over again in the Middle East for Israel, just to gain more power and to become a great empire, to become the greater Israel. Because that's what it's about. Despite I can't get into the details about the war and things like that, and because YouTube likes to take down my monetization, which is really pathetic. I do have a Substack now, so I will be doing like a part 2 to my take on the war and get into the nitty-gritty of everything. I think there's a lot of things going on right now in the Middle East that I really want to talk about, and why I think America shouldn't get involved. I really don't. I think that Israel, you strike first. You continue to poke the bear. You should definitely just, secure your own borders. Protect your Iron Dome. Well, like, if Iran continue to obliterate you, it will weaken the Iron Dome. That's why you have to call Big Daddy America and make our politicians become your puppet and be like, and spread the same message. I mean, look what Marjorie Taylor Greene said today about these people that are for AIPAC in our government, and Thomas Massey. It's obvious that this is no conspiracy. This is a occupation. And this is why we should be America first. That's all I have to say about that.